In 1994, Bola Tinubu was accused of bombing a petroleum depot in Ejigbo, Lagos. Whatever they want to do to me, I'll be back. It is our country. If I don't survive it, another generation will survive, but I will not be part of the generation that keeps running away from criminals who have hijacked power in my country. Never.
Omoyele Sowore wey be former presidential candidate for AAC wey also be ogbonge activist for Nigeria. DSS don come outside come talk say anywhere dem see Sowore for Nigerian soil say make dem arrest am. So in other words to say Omoyele Sowore is currently declared wanted. But as they ask am for AIT, he talk say Nigeria na im country. Say he no dey run comot from Nigeria. He say even as they talk say if dem see am for Nigeria make dem arrest am. He say very soon he go come Nigeria, come face Nigeria. He say e be like say na crime to be born in Nigeria and he dey ready to face am like that. Say he go come back to Nigeria as soon as possible. He come from there come berate Nigeria judges wey give bail to protesters wey dem arrest. He say if Nigeria was to be a country where they work, say that judge no even suppose accept that kind of case wey they bring before am before he go even talk say he go grant them bail. He come talk say which kind bail wey they go grant to protesters, peaceful protesters, poor people wey dey hungry, wey dey come outside say they need better country. Say make each person pay 10 million naira before they go grant am bail, plus bringing a shorty wey get landed property for Abuja and international passport plus national ID card. Say which kind mumu judge be that wey go talk that kind thing? Say time go soon reach where e be like say all those judges, police wey dey carry out all this illegal act against the Nigerian people wey dey go begin face persecution. Na Omoyele Sowore talk am. See the video here make una watch am, but before that abeg please help us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you. My name na Yesufu.
I'm sure you are welcoming the development that the court has granted the 10 of them bail to the tune of 10 million naira. And what's your reaction to that?
Well, I don't know how you welcome a development of that nature when you arraign innocent people to court over egregious charges of treason for offenses that did not commit. And then you then grant them bail after 35 days in detention in a case in which you have no evidence or proof of crime. And the bail conditions are such that I'm sure they are back in prison now because they can't meet such conditions. It requires that they have a shorty with a bond of 10 million naira and that the shorty will deposit their international passport as well as having a landed property. This is ridiculous. And this is why in my own analysis today I said the Nigerian judicial system has become an accomplice in the process of perpetrating injustice against our people. There is no need for a judge to send somebody into prison under remand for an offense in which you have no proof of evidence that a crime was committed in the first place by such a person. And we must get serious and start prosecuting individually prosecutors, police officers and judges who connive to deprive citizens of their rights. These are just protesters, and they have not committed any offense known as treason or treasonable felony, or there was no attempt by them to commit such an offense. They're just exercising their fundamental rights guaranteed by international instruments to which the Nigerian state is a signatory. Under a civilian regime, there's nothing to welcome here. We should all be sad that this is happening in the first place.
Well, what you're saying now is ab initio. Even arresting them is wrong because they just came out to exercise their rights.
It was a crime to have arrested them for exercising their rights. The man who is president of Nigeria today, in 1994, was accused of bombing a petroleum depot in Ejigbo, Lagos by the military regime. That is Bola Tinubu. It was a crime that was framed up in it. He ran away from the country. He was never arrested or prosecuted from it. He was in exile, and he spent his time in exile, came back. He was welcomed as a hero, as a pro-democracy hero. He's now is Nigeria's president today. Imagine such a person. Imagine such a person under his regime, charging protesters, people who are carrying. They even wrote it in the charge sheet that these individuals were trying to overthrow the government by carrying placards. It's in the charge sheet. It's not believable that we are even discussing this as a welcome development. It is a terrible terrible development that should not be welcomed in any society, not even in a banana republic.
I'm sure you have
Yes.
listened to the lawyer, that the bail condition, though, may be tough, but there's a possibility that it can't be reviewed. And if there's a possibility it can be reviewed, that means the counsel for these people in detention will have to go ask for a review of the bail. But let's take a look at what has been going on in Nigeria. We have seen cases where court grants bail and the bail condition was met. At the end of the day, they didn't release them. We have also seen cases where the court will say, okay, we have tried to meet up with the bail condition and all that. Getting to that place to release the person who was arrested, the person was rearrested with new charges. Are you seeing things? Are you seeing the future that something like this may play out?
You know, let me explain to you. The lawyer who is speaking, there is speaking law. He's not speaking justice. And my concern is justice. You know, you can bring what they call hubris in law to justify anything and say you should praise a judge. I have been a victim of this type of rubbish charge before. 2019, I was arraigned before a federal high court and accused of treason after they had detained me for 45 days on false charges that I was engaging in terrorism and I went to pick $100 million from Dubai. When we got to court, they discovered I've never been to Dubai before. After spending 4 months in detention, I was granted bail on conditions that the judge knew I cannot fulfill. We went and varied the bail. I met the condition after a month. I came back for trial. I was abducted before a judge in Nigeria, inside the courtroom. So what I'm saying is that Nigeria must get to a point where you start punishing people for engaging in this misuse of legalities. There's no point praising a judge who is sitting down knowing that there is no evidence of a capital offense and continue to prosecute somebody for a capital offense. These are some of the poorest young people, unemployed young people. The guy I was arraigned with was a secondary school student. He's now in London about to complete his law degree after we got him out of Nigeria. The reason they are doing this is because we permit it. We have permitted this nonsense for too long. And what happened to me, you are all aware.
Yeah.
But I want to bring you to a civilized society like the US. Today, this is September 11, 2024. September 11, 2001, you heard about what happened in the US. There was a terrorist attack. And because of that, US officials went haywire. They engaged in torture. There was an attorney general that prepared a torture memo. His name is Gonzalez. I think it's Osobalto Gonzalez. He was happy at that time. But when law caught up with him, he was punished for it. Today, he's still indebted to several debtors because he had to defend himself after he was fired as the Attorney General of the USA for preparing a memo as the Attorney General that authorizes torture. There are a lot of people who went to torture people in Iraq, in Guantanamo Bay, officials, legal officers who are being punished. The people who helped Donald Trump to claim that he won the election in 2020 or so are undergoing debarment. So sometimes some of you lawyers too who come and defend these things, maybe we should start applying that you guys should be debarred. You should not be practicing law. Why would anybody come and say that we should praise the judge for sentencing somebody to prison in an offense that did not exist ab initio? And he said it, this lawyer said it here as I'm talking to you, that the reason the judge granted bail is that he has looked at the charges and discovered the proof of evidence is probably not there.
But there's a burden of proof. There's a burden of proof.
There's no burden of proof.
Yes.
I'm the one of the people who was preparing for this case. I've been talking to, we've been in meetings. The lawyers were asking the prosecutors, can you give us proof? Till this moment, there's no proof. The only proof they have is that they were arrested at a press conference and that some of them participated in the protest where they carried placard. It is, ask your lawyer analyst to go and read the charges. He will be embarrassed with what he's saying, even on your show now. The charges are some of the most frivolous, most useless, most stupid charges, but it's not the only one. This is Nigeria for you. But I'm just calling on lawyers also to support the cause of justice wherever they find themselves, no matter how well it is good to start claiming Aja. Aja itself made it very clear that before a judge sit over a matter, they should read over the matter, look at the charges, and see if the charges are even, it even qualifies the judge to sit over the matter. The judge could have, the day of the trial, say, look, I've never seen this kind of a useless charge before. I am sorry. I'm not going to sit over this. I ask you guys to go home. But it's the same judge, this same judge, who is sitting on a number of my cases. That's Justice Wike. We argue all the time. It's the same judge who has sent some young people to 60 days of remand. 60 days. So these are not the only cases that's in front of him. So he must start to question why he continues to allow himself to be used in subverting the cause of justice for ordinary people. That is very important.
We'll come back to you before we go.
And I'm going to be appearing before him all this because I still have a pending case. But I tell him all the time that he should apply his knowledge and his expertise.
Are you intending to appear before him live? Because I
have a case. I have cases pending before him.
Yes, but I hear that you are also on the watch list. They are looking for you. I hear that they are looking for you too.
It was the last judge to handle my treason trial, and I kept standing up in court and say, Judge, you are wasting the court time. This is not a trial. It wasn't until the federal government came to withdraw the charges that he allowed me go after 5 years. So he's a well-known judge to me. I have a case in front of him over another frivolous case where one senator said that I libeled him and he got the police to arrest me. We are still on the case for 3 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying now. Comrade, are you going to come live to attend that? Because we heard that they are looking for you. That's what.
Why not? Nigeria is my country. I don't have any other country. I don't have any other citizenship. I'm not going to run away with criminals who hijack power in my country. Whatever they want to do to me, I'll be back. It is our country. If I don't survive it, another generation will survive. But I will not be part of the generation that keeps running away from criminals who have hijacked power in my country. Never. I'll be back, and I'll face whatever charges they put before me, and and deal with it. It's the consequences of being born in Nigeria. It's a crime to be born in that country. It's a crime, and we must face it so that our next generation will not go through this.